This is ABC Radio.
With Brigitte Duclos.
Cricket is a way of life. A way to make lifelong friends. Sometimes it can make enemies.
Love it. A little sneak peek there, a sneak listen of the new show Snick and Willow. And you know what, as we're all recovering from what they're saying is one of the all-time great Test cricket matches, with India finally succumbing to the Aussies yesterday, I feel cricket's really having a moment. And hopefully a whole generation of Indian and Australian kids watched it and were inspired. And we're hoping also they're going to be inspired by this new animation starring just one star, the legendary English cricketer Ian Botham. Snick and Willow is the first ever cricket-focused animated TV show, which is in its final stages of development. And we're absolutely thrilled to have in the studio with us Ken Cantrill, who is one of the creators. Ken, hello.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. Great to have you. Now tell us, how did the idea come about to do Snick and Willow?
Look, I've been in animation a long time, and I was sort of a freelance cartoonist over the journey. So I was in Delhi with celebrating my 50th birthday. Yeah. And I was just driving around Delhi and being an avid cricket fan and a cricket tragic, I just looked out the window and there was not one piece of land that wasn't being played. Cricket. It was cricket everywhere. And it was so populated that grounds were overlapping. Yeah. So fielders were next to each other.
So were you in Delhi to watch cricket? Like you're that big a cricket fan that you go to India to watch it?
No, I was actually over there for my 50th birthday. Holidaying but I just looked around. It was
because I've heard about the popularity. I've never been to India, but you actually saw it firsthand. Yeah,
it's insane. Yeah. I don't think you can put into words how popular it is. It's actually, everyone says it's a religion, but it's not. It's actually more than a religion. So
you just suddenly thought, okay, there's something here. What can I do with my animation and cricket?
Yeah, pretty much. It was a light bulb moment. I was thinking about doing animated sports, and I thought, well, we had a couple on the go at the time. We had like a street ball, we had some soccer things going on, and I thought, well, cricket is obviously the next big thing. So I thought, well, it's the whole multicultural aspect around as well was really impactful. It just thought, well, we've got to tap into this somehow.
Yeah, it's amazing. And getting, and I know he's only one of the stars you've got signed up, but Ian Botham, one of the most famous cricketers and voices, to star in the show.
Yeah, it's funny. I was, this time last year, I was listening to the Perth Test and Tubby and Beefy were talking and I was driving back from dropping my daughter at the airport and I went, I'm just looking for a sort of a regal but yet larrikin English voice. And I went, bang, another light bulb moment, and I just went, oh my God, it's Lord Ian Botham. So I reached out.
Is he a Lord?
He's a Lord, yeah.
He's a Lord. I thought he was a Sir. Has he made it to Lord? Is that better than Sir?
I think it's I think it might be the same thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping.
Either way, he's got a title.
Yeah, well, he's got one more than me. Yeah, and he probably gets to sit at the front of the plane as well. I rang his manager, Rod Loader, and I said, Rod, I've got an idea. Do you reckon Beefy be keen? And within 45 minutes, that conversation happened. Then I went down and met Ian in Albert Park. He was here. Yeah. And I thought I was going there to pitch the idea to Ian and his wife, Kathy. And he goes, I'm in. And I went, okay, so now what do we talk about?
Wow, it feels like all the stars are aligning for this project.
Yeah, we signed Summer Warne last week. So
as in Shane Warne's daughter.
Yeah, Shane Warne's daughter.
Nice.
Yeah, we've been working with the Shane Warne legacy and Helen Nolan, and we're hoping to do something with them in 2025.
Okay, so what's the premise of the show? It's an animated cricket show for kids. What's the premise?
The premise is it's a David and Goliath story about two unlikely friends that came together through just opportunity. Snick being an Indian boy that lives, this is all set in India, and then Willow being an Australian girl that happened to be has moved over to England because of a coaching job for her dad, which is obviously beefy, in both of them. And they have to save their ground from greedy developers.
Yeah.
And the greedy developers have stolen all the artefacts from this treasured club and hidden them around the world. And whilst those artefacts aren't at the ground, the ground is under threat for development.
Right.
So Malik is the developer. Sunita, the chairman of the company, is his wife. So Snick and Willow decide to join forces and go and try to rescue all the artefacts and bring them back. So they go to different cultures, they go to different countries. The artefacts are sort of hidden around the world, which brings all the multiculturalism and the international flair.
I absolutely love the sound of it. I am talking with Ken Cantrill, who is one of the creators of Snick and Willow, which sounds absolutely fantastic. And actually, while we're chatting about Snick and Willow, I'd love to hear from people. If you do love cricket, I'm curious to know what made you fall in love with the game, because I'm wondering whether a whole host of young people might discover this game through your show, Snick and Willow. Our numbers here, 1300 800 222, or on the SMS 0437 774 774. So you've been in development for 5 years-ish. When do you reckon we're going to see it?
We're hoping that 2025, the end of 2025, we're planning on having 13 episodes ready to go.
Wow.
Yeah, so we are talking to some international broadcasters and domestic broadcasters, which unfortunately we can't say too much right now, but those conversations are definitely taking place. So we had some incredibly wonderful news yesterday that we've actually signed a strategic partnership with Cricket Australia.
Wow.
We're using Snick and Willow to service their pillars within their organisation. Their push is to get kids 5 to 12 into cricket over the next 5 years.
So, yeah, tell me about that, because, I'm massive on women's sport. I'm a big fan of women's sport.
Yep.
And our female cricket team's very successful, isn't it?
Very successful.
Very successful. Yep. But are girls not playing cricket, young girls?
It's a massive push to get girls into the long form game. So Snick is a traditional Indian. He loves the short form, flashy type part of the game.
Yep.
Where Willow is a traditionalist. So she's got
she's the test player.
She's a test player. Yeah. So
clever.
she's got the cable jumper. All the whites, and she doesn't like or doesn't fancy the short form game. So she's an absolute traditionalist. So we think that Willow is a great advocate for like the long form game, and to get girls to play into not just the short form.
Why do you think girls don't like the long form game, or why they're not getting into it? Have you done any research, or do you know why?
No, not really. I just felt that Snick, being Indian, they just love the flashy short form of the game.
Yeah.
Where Willow was just obviously the traditionalist. So we kind of thought that when we spoke with Cricket Australia, they thought that that connection between Willow being a traditionalist and bringing girls into the long form of the game was a perfect fit for them.
How did you become a cricket tragic? When did that happen to you? Did you play as a kid?
Well, funny, I'm gonna have a shout out here, but Shane Warne actually got me out playing for Mentone.
That is the best claim to fame ever.
Yeah,
so Shane Warne bowled you out.
He got me out for 12. I was playing for Ivanhoe Grammar, and he was playing for Mentone.
Out for 12, and you had no idea what you were dealing with at the time.
I did not know, but I now use that as my claim to fame.
That is the best claim to fame ever. Shane Warne bowled me out. Was it with a ripping little spin?
Yeah, he got me out. I got caught in gully. Yeah.
Wow. And then when he became famous, were you absolutely over the moon?
I was kind of jealous. So he went on to be greater than me. No, he's all-time great, isn't he?
Yeah.
And it's a horrendous tragedy. So.
Yeah. So what do you think? What sort of shape do you think Australian cricket is in? I mean, obviously we've just had that wonderful win, but there's been some comments prior to that. Well, how do you think we're going?
I think we're going okay. I think there's a couple of up-and-coming guys that need to have a chance. I think that Bo Webster, I think would be great to get him to have a chance. The Sydney Test. I think Australian cricket's been solid for long years, many years, hasn't it? So we've been blessed with the likes of the Borders and the War Brothers and Pontings and Gilchrist. There's been a plethora of of
and now look, watching a few newies, watching this young Sam Qantas come in. Oh, that was a real thrill, wasn't it?
How good was that?
I think this is really exciting. Snick and Willow. And I suppose, when you think of Australian animated kids shows, you go to Bluey, don't you? Everyone thinks of Bluey.
Yep.
Was that an inspiration for you at all?
Look, we've been following Bluey for years and years. It's people think that what's the old thing, 20 years to be an overnight success, but Bluey's been doing the hard yards for 12 years. So it's really only the last couple of years that it's been really well received. So
so it takes time. It'll take time to build, like anything.
I think without sort of floating our own boat, we've got a ready-made market, which is cricket lovers, and there's only 1.2 billion of them around the world. So, so we've got.
You picked a good market, better than curling. I'm tipping, or something like that.
Yeah, maybe a bit fractionally more than curling, but I think we've got a head start, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Now you actually got bowled by Shane Warne. He bowled you out for 12, and our producers, who are very, very clever, have actually tracked down the commentary of Shane Warne bowling you out in cricket. Ken, let's have a listen to this.
And he's done it. He started off with the most beautiful delivery. He has absolutely no idea what has happened to it. He still doesn't know.
Is that how you remember it?
Less enthusiasm.
Oh, that is funny. Well, I'm really, really excited about this because I think anything, look, as I said, I love watching anything that can encourage young women to play sport, and I think particularly having Willow for the long game as the girl and Snick the short game as the boy sounds absolutely fantastic. So when we do see it, where will we see it? Do you know yet what it'll appear on?
We've got that in the works.
All right, now that's a secret. All right, that's okay.
Well, we're working with Recruit Australia, and I'm obviously trying to service all their the internal pillars of inclusive multiculturalism and gender equality and equity. And
look, it is really, really exciting, Ken. And congratulations. Look out for Snick and Willow. It will be coming somewhere near you in the next little while. Next 12 months. Yeah. Ken Cantrill is the creator of the animated kids TV cricket show Snick and Willow. Ken, Happy New Year. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Brigitte.
Absolutely fabulous. I'm very excited about that. I cannot wait to see it. Thank you, Ken. We have got plenty more to come on the show. Keep the calls coming in, 1300 800 222 and on 0437 774 774. That is our text number. You are with Brigitte Duclos, and I am loving hearing all your stories and sharing with you. This is Summer on ABC Radio.